A country damaged and divided. After days of violent protests, a moment of unity. Local mayors rallying together outside town halls advocating against the rioting and looting in more than 200 communities over the past week. It comes after a fellow mayor's home was targeted by protesters, ramming a car into his house and shooting fireworks at his wife and children as they tried to escape.
They wanted to assassinate my wife and our young children in their sleep and burn them alive by setting fire to my house.
The unrest started after a teenager of North African descent was shot and killed by police. It now appears to have eased, with fewer arrests and acts of arson compared to the past few days. But 45,000 police officers have been deployed and continue to patrol the streets in case tensions flare up again. France counting the costs for families and businesses and its reputation.
4.5 billion years. That's how old our planet is. Quite a long life, wouldn't you say? One filled with daily battles with the human race because we have polluted its air and water. Strewn rubbish everywhere, over 2.24 billion tons of it, and corrupted nature. So now the world is heating up. And finally, we see how this affects us. We see how climate change harms us. When our air is too polluted to breathe, when the skies are orange from wildfires, and when billions of us risk displacement. So what do? We come up with ideas to solve the problem we have created. And if we're the US, we want to modify the atmosphere further to fight the changes we created in the first place. Sounds both confusing and disappointing at the same time? That's maybe because it is. We're talking about solar radiation modification. In simple terms, it means blocking sunlight. Yes, literally blocking the sun's rays, altering sunlight. This is seen as a potential response to fighting climate change. It sounds like science fiction, like some massive shield created by mad scientists that could protect our planet. But, believe it or not, this could actually become reality, thanks to the US. The White House has released a report. It indicates that the Biden administration wants to study altering sunlight, to research this phenomenon some more because it could potentially cool the planet. And fairly quickly, that too. But soon after this, the US ordered a review, showing certain amount of skepticism, meaning that there will be no quick decisions, for the time being, just research. But even so, this is a big deal. The US may want to undertake solar experimentation in the future. It could toy with the sun, and in the world of science, this is extremely controversial. Some experts have issued serious warnings, saying that it could make the atmosphere dependent on a particular substance. So, if this stops, it could abruptly increase temperatures. And this report talks about a bunch of ways to limit sunlight reaching the Earth, like increasing cloud cover over the oceans or reducing the amount of a certain type of cloud. All of these methods have risks, significant ones. And most of all, each one of them can make things much worse, like alter global weather patterns.
There was high drama at the White House. Recently, someone found white powder inside the home of the President of the United States, and there was panic. What was this white powder? It also did not help that the white powder was found in the west wing of the White House, and that is the area where the President works and lives. A mysterious substance in this part of the White House means Mayday. A security alert was sent out. The DC Fire Department responded. It ordered immediate evacuation. The staff was asked to vacate the compound. The Secret Service closed down the White House. And guess what happened next? The white powder turned out to be cocaine. Hunter Biden, the president's son and also a bit famous for snorting drugs, was not in the White House when the cocaine was discovered. Neither were the president and the first lady. Where were they? They were at Camp David. Plausible deniability? You join the dots. But tell me one thing, and this question is especially for those of you watching us from the United States. Are you really surprised that someone took cocaine into the White House? Because we are not.
2 more shark attacks today on New York's Long Island, the 4th in 2 days. In separate incidents, a man and a woman were bit this afternoon near Fire Island, just a few miles from where 2 teens were bitten yesterday. None of the injuries are life-threatening. Drone video taken this morning shows a school of about 50 sand sharks in the same area.
Very concerned.
Now officials have increased drone patrols over Long Island state beaches, which had its fair share of shark bites last year, 8 in total. So far, there have been at least 18 reported shark incidents in the U.S. this year. Beachgoers rushed to shore in Pensacola Tuesday as a shark zipped through shallow waters.
Hey, come here!